Alright, what's up everybody? Spook here. Just gonna do a quick run through of my build. I've been getting a lot of messages and friend requests asking for what do I do with my cleric and how do I do it and why is it working for me, this, that, and the other. It's my first video. I'm not gonna go into a bunch of detail. Just give you the basics of what you need to do and how my feats are placed and kind of where my abilities are and stats. So, start with the most important in my opinion. Let's look at the feat tree. You know, you can obviously see for yourself what has 5 out of 5, what has points in it. I'll kind of just talk about quickly some things I do differently than other clerics. Start off here. A lot of clerics go 2 out of 3 Holy Resolve. Obviously there's nothing in tier 3 that's worth taking, so you gotta put the points somewhere else. You know, Holy Resolve, 10% temp hit points when you drop below 30%. It can be good. It's a good talent, but a 5-minute cooldown, it's a little long for me. I don't like that. Putting the 2 out of 3 in Greater Fortune gives 2% more healing from your Wisdom. It's actually a 4% change. If you go into your character sheet, or if I go into my character sheet, you know, go to Wisdom, or don't. Go to Wisdom, you can see that bonus healing is actually at 22%, and that is just from that feat alone, so it's actually 4%. Not really sure how that worked out, but it did. Back to the feats. 4 to 5 Bountiful, 1 out of 3 Cleanse. This build still does get you full stacks of Divinity and 2 at-wills. That's the big key. You definitely want to be able to do 2 at-wills to get full stacks of Divinity in PvP. If you can eliminate an entire at-will from your rotation, that is going to be crucial in key moments. Going down the Faithful tree, obviously I'm actually going to start backwards. Agent of the Divine, obviously, it's your ultimate. Pretty much turns all your healing over time abilities, primarily Bastion of Health, into a stack of Faith. When you drop below 45%, that stack procs. If you have an empowered Bastion, it's going to full heal any character in this game. I don't care. It's going to. I've seen it crit hit for damn near 400k. As well as you get Gift of Faith on your allies. If I'm on node 2 and I have stacks previously on somebody that's now at node 3, if they get low health, if we run not even halfway to each other, I can be halfway to node 3, it's going to top them off as long as they're in line of sight. It's huge for rotating in PvP. Absolute lifesaver. Now, Test of Faith, I know a lot of people like to go this. Here's the reason I don't. 300% of my weapon damage is only going to be 3600 to 4500 healing. Every 3 seconds, people aren't really taking damage in my Astral Shield, only hitting one person with it. I just don't really feel like it's that great. I don't think you need points in this. If you're a confident healer, you know where your team is, you know what healths everybody's sitting at, you really shouldn't have to do this. You know, if you're newer out, maybe take this, but I don't think it's necessary. United by Faith, a lot of clerics, for whatever reason, skip over this. It is amazing. 5% healing increase for each ally. Well, in high-end games, everybody's going to be rushing node 2. You're going to be fighting 5-on-5. That's 25% healing increase. And very, very slightly, you're on your own completely. And you're affected by this yourself. So if you're by yourself, that's still 5%. And if there's one ally near you, 10%. It just keeps building and building. It's really good for group fights. A lot of clerics don't go this either. Instead of, you know, if you do want to go Test of Faith, I would skip points in this. But Chaplain Strength, you know, when a foe is close, you get 10% increased healing. Well, you're not really taking damage. You're not dying unless a foe is close. So that's essentially, you always have 10% increased healing. Shared Burdens. Your direct healing spells also heal allies. Yes, I do understand. Bastion of Health is not a direct healing spell. But guess what is? That's right, Gift of Faith. And when Gift of Faith procs on somebody, if it's empowered like it should be, it's going to hit for at least 200k. And that's honestly on the low end. You know, if that's hitting for 300, 400k, 20% of that, that's 60 to 80k heal on everybody else around him. That's at least a half HP heal on almost every class in PS4 right now. Gift of the Gods. This is how you get your divinity up. You absolutely need points in this, 100%. Final Axe is garbage. You shouldn't be sitting below 30% health, pretty much ever. Nothing good here. And that's why you put your non-heal over times increased by 10%. Nothing's heal over time anymore. And you heal for an additional 30% HP if you're below 30%. You know, you can kind of dance between these two, but you need points in this first one to even get to this. And so if you are below 30%, it can help out. It's more of a filler. I have looked at this. Your healing spells have a 25% chance to grant a temp hit point shield. I just don't think it's really... It's not shit, really. What is that? Like a 2k temp hit shield? It's not really worth it. I'd rather have an oh shit moment if I am low, sitting in an astral shield, be able to top myself off easily. More easily, at least. Now I see a lot of clerics, you know, going on the bottom, taking like 10% more damage, another 10% more damage, especially for Divine Oracle, and then going into Sunburst, which would be right here. I don't really think it's worth it. This is why I go Anointed Champion. Like, you take this whole path for the at-will to do more damage, and you want to do a little more damage. It's not the point of a cleric. You should have plenty of damage on your team. In high-end games, the damage a cleric is doing is not going to be the game changer. It's the healing, the shielding, and the node pushing is what's going to win you games, not 20% damage. And that is why I go into the top tree some. You heal for 10% more. You know, your healing build, your tank healer, plain and simple. Now, Battle Fervor, a lot of people think this is just a PvE stat. It's really not. It's really good for PvP as well, especially in those beginning fights. 15% of my power. I have a Tensor disc. I have plenty of recovery in my gear. I don't enchant for recovery whatsoever, and I have 14k. I have about 98% uptime with Empowered Astral Shields. I have 100% uptime with Anointed Army if I so choose, if I'm not getting hit and it's getting taken down quickly. I have 21,000 power in my PvP build. That right there, in team fights, is 3k power to everybody around me. I'll just show you right now. I'm sitting at 21.2k and 14k recovery. Just show you what the percentages are. I've been 89.3% recharge speed, a 74% action point gain. Super crucial. You know, if you don't have high recovery through like the Tensor disc and your gear already, then I would definitely enchant your offense slots on silveries, get the extra recovery, get it up there so you have as close as you can to 100% uptime on Astral Shield. That's going to be the biggest thing for you. Kind of continuing with that, defensives, Radiance all day, max HP, which is just the best PvP defensive stat in my opinion, on top of Astral Shield's affected by it, so it's an absolute must to just go for Radiance in your defensives. Transcendent Elven on my armor, you're going to need it if you want to be a high-end cleric. Getting stunned by a hunter in between your half a second of Astral Shields is a huge pain in the ass. You need a Transcendent if you're going to play at the high ranks and be successful. Here's a little conversation that people are going to possibly not agree with me on. I run Transcendent Plague Fire for this reason. Yes, I know that Terror has a 10% chance to root, and you can sunburst people off the node, and they can get rooted off, and that can cap nodes. Yes, I get this. I understand. I prefer Transcendent Plague Fire. Reduces their defense by 15% and power by or 45% in power by 15%. The main reason I choose this is because it has a damage over time effect. If we're all fighting on a node and I don't have Sunburst up and one of their members flies by on a super fast mount, I only need to do one at will. It's going to knock them off. It's going to stop them, and that's going to save seconds on the next node if we have to rotate off. I would rather have the 100% guaranteed knockoff of a mount than a chance of rooting somebody off a node. I can get enough pushes off that we're going to take the node regardless. And since our team isn't dying, you know, I haven't really had any issues with this at all, and I would prefer in my playstyle to guarantee a knockoff of a mount if someone's running by. Powers, you know, kind of just like any other cleric. Astral Seal, keep on your L2. Sunburst I use 99.9% of the time. The time I won't use it is if we're facing an extremely tanky team / a really shitty team, and I can just throw on Break Their Spirit, because who gives a fuck. Hollow Ground all the time. Divine Fortune, build your divinity, and you need this on to get your divinity to 3 stacks and 2 at wills. Holy Fervor, because AP gain is always nice. Moving on, Bastion of Health is the only healer you're really going to be using. Always have it on 100% of the time. Blessing of Battle as well, 100% of the time. That's your main at will. If you're using Astral Seal, it will take 3 Astral Seals to get 3 stacks of divinity. 2 Blessing of Battles will get you 3 stacks though, as well as the buff feat, which is nice because you can keep the buff rolling 100% uptime with my rotation. As I said, Break the Spirit you can switch out for Sunburst some of the time if you're facing a shitty team, or if you want to use it, get some kills. Whatever, that's your choice. It's not the point of a cleric, but you know, if you want to get some kills or stun some people, by all means do what you want to do. But I don't think that's the best in slot. Astral Shields, your bread and butter. Fully empowered Astral Shields, you're not going to die in it unless you're facing one of the best rogues in the server. Pretty much plain and simple. You need someone really hard hitting to get you down through an Astral Shield. It happens maybe once out of every 100 games, in my opinion, that someone's able to get me down inside. Anointed Army. Another reason I really like going Anointed Champion. Anointed Army is so underrated in PvP, especially if you aren't a high item level and you have a second in between your Astral Shield. You know, yes, you have dodge procs, but if you want to be safe, at the end of your empowered Astral, you can throw up Anointed, dodge around, and anything that does get through your dodge procs, or if you get stunned for a second, your Anointed Army will eat that, and you won't take damage. Super nice, as well as your teammates. You know, it's very versatile. And on Dunk Rogues, if you have a Dunk Rogue on your team running by and you throw Anointed Army up, they're getting the most insane amount of power. They're one-shotting anybody, guaranteed. All the other points don't really matter. Hardly ever use anything. You know, extra points, maybe Forge Master's Flame, so you can go do some damage when you want. Doesn't really matter. It's all preference. Like I said, it's going to be a really plain and simple video. 2 Prestige, 2 Warborn, gives you that 1000 tenacity. I do have a Heart of the Blue Dragon. I don't think this is the best in slot. You know, I would say the Hunter, the Orb, and the Devoted are, but I just haven't really gotten around to changing this. I was screwing around with another build when I got it and haven't bothered changing for anything else yet. Mainly for the fact that I don't feel I need to. I'm at rank 1. That artifact isn't really changing much for me. It doesn't matter at this point. I do use 1 Rose Gold Ring, but I also use a +5 defense. The reason I use the +5 defense is primarily for the extra defensive slot. I don't need more offensive slots. I have plenty of recovery. I have plenty of power. The extra HP, as well as buffing my Astral Shield a little more, it's really nice. As well as, if I'm in an Astral Shield and it's starting to nuke me, well then I have 1300 more defense, and it just keeps on rolling if they keep attacking me, and the defense just gets insane. Along with the Twisted, you know, I'm not really doing damage, so if I have 3-4 people on me. Between the twisted and that's close to 3k defense. That's kind of, I wouldn't say it's static, but it stays up. It definitely stays up, which is nice. Reduces the damage. I think that's really all I really want to get into for the evening. I don't want to get into boons. You guys can figure that out yourself. And my boons are crap. I am lazy. Don't care. I guess a quick rotation of what I would do in PvP. You know, if 3-4 people are attacking me, hitting me hard, pop into divine mode. Depending on the situation, I never really go 3 of the same thing, but I'll do 2 of one and 1 of the other. So if I'm really taking some damage, I'll do like a divine astral shield, divine bastion, divine astral shield, throw down my astral shield, maybe get an actual bastion rolling for some extra health, knock them off me if I need, get my divinity stacks back up, start doing that again, dodge around, astral shield back up. Now if I want to get my divinity stacks up and do this properly, you know, I can like really get it rolling. Just dodge, 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 dodge. What's up? Having a lion's a nice bonus. Definitely recommend a lion for PvP if you can afford one. It's by far the best in slot active. Other than that, you know, just keep people off nodes, keep your team up. A cleric should be the quarterback of any team. You should know where your team are. You should be the one calling out who's rotating where. Because you're pretty much the one keeping everybody alive, whether they're on your node or not. You only need to run about halfway to top them off if you're playing correctly. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to hit me up. Happy to help people out. Primarily putting this video out so that the PvP can increase in difficulty and we can get this game a little bit further. Hope everybody enjoyed. Take it easy.